Okay, we'll use these two bolts with the little studs on the ends with the nuts to put the starter back in. And those are 18mm, in case you forgot. Okay, now I'll go find what's next. With the engine down this low, we can kind of see in there. Over there is one bell housing bolt, and there's another one right there. You can kind of see it. So we'll put this bolt back in. That holds the battery negative. Whoops. I'm going with a longer extension this time, hoping that that will be easier than that short extension over top of the shift mechanism. Okay, like that, and then the negative cable is where to go. I just added it a second ago. Right here, it goes on that bolt. Maybe I need more light in there. Kind of like that. Oops. I think it came back off. Okay, I got that on. It like clicks into place even though it's just a there's a little light on the nut itself now. It's a 13, so don't try and use the 18 on it. There we go. And now the other one is right there in the center of the camera. You can see a hole. I'll get the bolt to put in there. Okay, so this is really loose. So now I'm going to put in that bolt. It was this one with the really long shaft or stud on the end that wasn't hooked to anything. So it just goes in like that. Okay. So that one's in. I think before I go any farther and put these bolts on underneath, I'm gonna pull the engine up. But before I do that, I want to put the transfer case back on around on the other side so that it's in there while it's lowered down. So let me see if I can do that. Okay, I think that's about as good as it's gonna get for showing this. I don't think I'll have anything dripping out since it's angled down. So on the transfer case itself, there is a large O-ring and thing that goes in there. So that part goes up, and then there's another small one that goes in here. So make sure you have those oriented correctly. This unit's a little heavier than it seems like it should be for this size. And somehow get those splines to line up. Like that. Yep, there we go. So now that's in there. There's the 4 bolts that of course I didn't keep track of. And this bracket that goes like that. So it bolts onto the engine here and up here, and then bolts to the transfer case right here and here in 3 spots. So I got a whole pile of bolts here, probably from when I took it apart, of course. I don't have only one. Oh yeah, I do. I have this one bolt. So I got these. I should probably hold them up high enough. These bolts go to the mount to the engine, and then these studs and this bolt go to the shroud, along with the 2 nuts that match. I had these 4 Allen head bolts over where I took the transfer case off, so I should probably use these to put it back on. And they have shoulders so that they hold it correctly. I can probably get this camera down here underneath to see these. So I'm going to work on this bolt here and this one over here that's in the shadow. I can put the light down like this. I think that angle works okay. So I think I'm kind of wishing that this was shorter. Probably had to have a regular. Looks like I might be able to get by with this long Allen wrench. Oops, that wasn't in all the way. Okay. Oh. Where is my Allen wrench? My 8mm Allen wrench is what I need. I think I better call it a night. It's starting to get really windy. My garage isn't big enough to have the door closed with all my crap in here. Good thing I can speed up the video. Now I have to slow it down for this part or just mute it. Okay, now I'll see if I can get a shot of the top. So you can kind of see one of the holes peeking up over the top right there where my finger was pointing, but I don't know if you'll be able to see anything when I am trying to put a screw in it. This one would probably be easier after I do the top side, because that'll pull it down so that I can get a straight shot into it instead of trying to jam it into these pipes up there. But we'll see. So let's see if I crank the engine up a little bit out here. Let's see. Zoom out. So now if I crank this handle, it'll pull the engine back up really slowly. Okay, so now if we go back to where we were before, you might be able to see I was able to get the socket in with the extension on it, but I don't think I can get that extension in, so one will do. Okay. Now that one's on. Now I just gotta find the last bolt. Probably won't be able to get a picture of it because there's no way from above to see it. And no way to get to it from below. I can see the hole, and I got the bolt kind of in it, but not good enough. Okay. Get out of there, rag. Long Allen, I can get it in there. So the long Allen tool with the socket on the end. Yep, that worked. And now need a short extension. Oh. Okay, come out of there. Okay, that's on. Now I just need to put the bolt back in the shaft. So I still have this long extension set up with a 6mm Allen for this purpose. Hopefully it found the hole. Oh. Appears to have worked. Okay. Now probably the engine mount. So it looks like when I lowered it down, the engine slid this way a little bit, so I just kind of took my foot and pushed on the back of the transmission to push the engine that way back into the engine mount over there. It's not a solid mount, it's like a rubber mount with a shaft that goes into it. So now I can take the mount piece and go down in. So right down in there, you can see these 3 holes. There's 2 back over here and 1 over here. Ouch, it got me. So this mount goes in here and maybe onto those, and then we take the original 3 bolts. Let's see what this looks like. And those go right in there. Now those were 16mm. Okay, now you can see we're kind of low, so I'll crank the engine up, and oh, I put that right in the way. There. So it looks like we're forward a little bit. I don't know if I can move it. Maybe I can get them started and then crank them down. There we go. Now we should be able to take the chain off. And get this out of the way. Okay, now I'm gonna put the clutch line back in, so pull this out. Maybe should have got some different pliers. And snip the zip tie. I don't know why. Then get it out of there. Oh, now you're in the wrong spot. Okay, right down in there is the little cap on throw out slave cylinder, and then we just stick that on there until it kind of seats, and then push that down, and hopefully that stays in place. Now whenever we bleed it, we can use this to bleed it. I didn't know how to get fluid in there to begin with. I guess I could have filled it up with a little squeeze bulb or something, but we'll do the best we can. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see that little red thing in there. Right down here is the place where this goes on. I don't want to talk about it too much because it was such a pain to get off. Okay. Now back here we got the two shift cables. And of course they're different. I didn't get the shift cables off the car I took it off of, and these ones are different. So these have a ball instead of this little shaft. So I think this one will be pretty easy to change because I just have to undo that bolt and pull it off. One's going to be a little bit more of a pain because there's two bolts down there, and I'm hoping that it doesn't mess something up inside the transmission, but I don't think it will. Well, actually, I don't have to take those off. I can just take off this little C-clip. Oops. Looks like for this one, I can just take off this little. Of course, I have everything the most messy possible. Okay. Right now it's all the way this rotated counterclockwise and line it up flush with the end of this piece. So I think I need to get this out of the way for a second. Okay, if I take off this clip, I don't think I can get the clip off now. Oh, there it goes. Take off that clip. Then I can pull that all the way this way and take this out. Ooh, that was almost not gonna work. Then I can stick this one back in, except that I got one of these sleeves still on it. So that's right on there still, so it won't go in, but the other one's not on it, so there we go. And then get this lined up. So with this out like that, now I should be able to pull this up off of there. No. Whoops. Wonder if I can tap down on the end of the stud as I'm pulling up on here. Okay. Oh, it's got a little groove in there that's bigger, so I can get the other one back on in the right orientation. Yep, that one has the same groove. Woo. So I just gotta find that. Like that. And then it's rotated all the way. Like that. Perfect. Now put this little clip back on. And put these ones away. And then put the nut back on. Okay, now I have the correct mounting locations for the cables. So before I put the cables on, I'm going to put the bolts back on underneath there. If I can get this light somewhere where it shines down there without being in the camera. That's a little weird. I only have 2 of the 3 bolts. Wonder where the other one went. Did I drop it? Don't know where that bolt went, but I had a similar one out of the other transmission removal, so hopefully it'll be the similar length. Maybe I can get that on with a wobbly. Oh, I found it. It's the bolt I used up here to hold the engine up. Hopefully I didn't bend it. Feels like I did. That's ruined. I guess I should have thought about that better. So the moral of the story, don't use a bolt you need in a place where you shouldn't. I got all 3 bolts tightened up, and then I can just pop these back on, maybe. There we go. So now I'll see if the shifter works real quick. It appears to go into all 6 gears in reverse, as far as I can tell. Have to see once I can start it. Now I can put this bracket back on the starter bolt here. Oh. This goes back around all these wires. There are so many design characteristics about this car that are wonderful. I love them. Now I'll see if I can get the nut on from underneath where he can't possibly see, or me either, because I don't have any light. Okay, I got it started. There we go, that's on. Guess I should have looked at where this goes. Right there would be nice. I'll find out, I guess. I'll have to go look at the video again. Probably goes somewhere on the body ground or engine ground, because that goes on the battery. Okay. So oh, no, that's the starter bolt. So this is the positive. Good thing they made them all black with no indication on there, but this goes down here on the starter like that over there. So I'm still okay. This is for the MAF sensor or something on the intake. Okay. Probably bleed the clutch before I put the battery in. Got a bunch of wires here. think that's everything from up top for right now. Now it's got to put the cross member back in place in the steering rack. So I think that's a job for tomorrow. So I'm going to work right up here. I'm going to put this bracket on, which requires 2 bolts there. Maybe, no, it goes this way. And then 2 into the engine. I gotta figure out which those are. These are the 2 that go here, I think. Yeah. So can you see up in there?
Yes.
You want to turn the flashlight on and it'll give a little bit more light? So it's these really long ones with the stud on the end. $16mm. Oh, those short ones were probably for the solid metal steel bracket that came off of the new transmission, and I'm using the bracket from the original transmission. Which is a thicker aluminum bracket. Got it. So now I need the 2 bolts that go into the engine. So I think there's 2 like this. So I think those are it. Those are it. Where did I put the ratchet? No, there it is. These are also 16s. Oops. And this one goes way up in here. Apparently I should have put it in before I put that bolt in, because that one's right in the way. Wonder if I can put an extension on it and make it even worse. There. Now this shroud goes on here with 2 nuts and a bolt. The bolt goes in the middle hole because the other holes have studs in them, if that makes any sense. I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to get that one started, but I can. I think these are 13mm, just guessing. I'm guessing that I got 13 here. Okay, now I gotta put the drive shaft back on to the rear wheels. It apparently doesn't do anything.
I see your hands.
Oh, okay.
What?
That's these bolts over here. I need a 12-sided 10mm, it looks like. So these little bolts with the star head and a 12-sided end wrench go up here to hold the drive shaft on. Oh, I wonder if it's in gear, so I'm not going to be able to turn it. So my issue is that it's hanging down on the back instead of being up like that where it's supposed to be. So I might get a jack and jack up over here so that it's in my way. Did that work?
You tell me.
Oh, I asked you.
Whatever. Yes.
This has a little hole in it, and the flanges in the differential have a little ledge on them, and that needs to go together somehow.
I agree. Okay.
I need 3 of them in here.
And you have 3 of those.
Oh, good. Hey, maybe I got that one started.
I didn't do it. It's just there's 16 minutes left on the battery.
Oh.
Want me to go switch batteries?
Yeah, okay.
Or I guess I sat in front of this light, so that's not helpful. How's that?
That's better. Stand up light. Yeah, stand up light. But yeah, it's pulling it into now, I think.
So it wasn't not long enough.
Never be not long enough.
Huh?
Never be not long enough.
Yeah.
Hopefully it pulled this one in far enough that it can get started. Nope.
You can hear the coyotes tonight. Unless that's just a dog. I'm starting.
So I took this bolt back out and tested it, and the bolt screws into there just fine, so it's just not getting all the way together. got it to pound in a little bit, so maybe that'll work.
Maybe.
Did I lose a bolt?
No, it's just in the other spot right next to that spot.
Oh, thanks. Oops.
I gotta stop doing that.
Are you tired?
No, I think you're just putting me to sleep.
This
Yeah,
isn't-
I've been tired all day.
This isn't the hardware store.
I know.
It's not going in again. It's close. It should be going in. Why isn't it going in? Oh, it is. I see it there.
What?
It tightened.
Wow. You just had to be a little bit more patient.
Ouch.
How'd you like your pizza?
It wasn't very good at all.
Really?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I was super happy I tried that place because they have a keto crust. What was not good about it?
The flavor.
Did it have a smoky flavor?
Probably. And it was burnt on the bottom.
Oh. It's one of those wood-fired ones
Oh.
where they make it like Subway and then... Oops! My shoe. There we go. I thought I turned on the light on the camera, but I guess I didn't.
Yeah, it's on.
The light on the camera?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
But
I
I
thought
did
it
turn.
was.
I know, I turned it on.
Okay. Now, how do I get to the top one?
Video light off.
I guess I can reach it.
Oh, it's on now.
Oh, yeah. Can you see that one way up in there with my hands in the way?
No, I can hardly. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm just putting in a third bolt at the very top.
Okay, we'll trust that you're doing that. I'll pause it for real.
The strap for the cross member so I can pull that into place and probably put the cross member in. That's underneath the back here.
What?
That's underneath the back here. Somewhere.
Oh. I found your hand.
Excuse me.
Okay.
guess for these two, you have to come to the other side for a minute. Not very long. I got these two transmission bolts that go here and here. They apparently need a short socket instead of a long socket. So then this one goes on here. Wonder where this one goes. Oh yeah, this goes on that tube that I took off that we were debating about its usefulness. Then I took off one bracket on this car and the other bracket on the other car, and they don't even line up. What's up with that? That's supposed to go on there. That's weird. Oh, that's better. But I'll deal with that later. So now I gotta figure out how to get this back into place and onto the steering rack, which I find irritating that they use torque yield bolts on the steering rack when it's got rubber mounts. Those are big.
Name of your sex tape.
Huh?
Nothing.
This is all that's holding it up on this side. So if I actually took off this bolt, then I would have more freedom to move it around. Oh, that bolt's open. It's this bolt. Oh, and then I should put this bracket up first, and then this will go the other way. Oh, that would be marvelous. This one appears to be bent. I'm gonna get that one that I got off the other car.